G'day everyone, welcome back to Pete's Investing. This is the 1st of August 2023, and first we'll look at crude oil. Now crude oil, you can see here on the hourly chart, we did have a bearish divergence drawn on our previous video, and that was up until this point before it broke through this resistance. So a couple of things I'm going to do here. First of all, let's zoom out, and I'm going to move that resistance level to that peak there. So we've got potentially a bit of more of a way to go. Now, in terms of this divergence, I'm going to delete that Fibonacci as a target placement. That was our original target. But what I'm going to do is, you can see here our divergence there is still bearish, even though the price is making new highs. So again, this is on the hourly time basis. So I've still got a bullish movement on the price versus a bearish divergence on the CCI. You'll notice also on the stochastic, it's still in a overbought territory, so we may see a pullback any time. So, and for that to happen, we need to see it break below this. Let's draw a channel between those highs. So we need to see it probably break below that area there to be more, to be able to enter short if you're going short on this, and that's still in play. This bearish divergence is still in play. So we're going to place new targets. We'll go down to this previous low, up to that recent high. So our target here, I'm going to move that. And again, to be conservative with our target levels, I'm going to make that somewhere between those two Fibonacci levels, the midpoint of the 23 to the 38, down to about the 50% level. Of course, these retracements are at the very least breaking to the short-term Fibonacci level, but they could also go right down and beyond the 100%. So there's no guarantee where it's going to stop. So these retracements generally work that way. You can see there we had a little bearish divergence here. Came down and hit our target. There was so that's where we are at the moment. Now also on the daily, you can see there we had a bullish divergence on the CCI, and that was along those bottoms where it hit that support line at 67.12. It broke up and actually hit our initial target area, but it kept going. So that's what I'm talking about in terms of there's no guarantee it's going to stop or rebound from there. It did actually rebound slightly, but it kept going up from there. And for those new to the channel, we draw these targets from those recent lows in that divergence range, and that's where we chose that target. Would have been between 50 to 61%. So we hit that on the daily. This is the daily chart. So we're currently looking at a bearish divergence on the hourly. So it may go up a bit more, considering the daily. Looking at the daily again, considering that resistance, we've readjusted. So it may actually go a bit higher, or it may break down in a bit of a retracement as per the hourly. Here we have the natural gas chart. This is the hourly chart. So again, we did have a target place there, showing a bearish divergence on the CCI, and the CCI is still actually falling, versus this minor resistance up here at 27.68, and actually broke down and hit our target area there before our last video. At the moment, the CCI is rising in line with the price, so there is no divergence at the moment. You'll notice the stochastic is sort of stabilized as well, and sort of still in the overbought area, more sort of bullish environment, very slightly above the midpoint of the 50 mark there. So really, it's sort of still in limbo land. That's why we haven't produced a video on the natural gas price for some time. But looking at the daily chart, for those new to the channel again, we're stuck with this within this range here. We've been in this range for months now, between this support at 2065 and this resistance at this major resistance at 29.30, and that's that 27.68 minor resistance I spoke about. So you can see there we've got a bullish divergence on the daily, and that's still rising on the CCI, and we've got that initial target area there, which will be that Fibonacci range there between the 23 and the 38% as at the very minimum target level. That's where we're expected to hit, but it needs to break through these two resistance areas and ultimately this upper major resistance at 29.30. You will notice as well the stochastic down here is very much in the oversold, and it's been that way for a number of months, although the CCI is showing a bullish movement, which is positive, but again, no real movement on the price. So I'll keep an eye on that, and if it does break above this key resistance, then obviously we'll let you know. So then next we've got the NASDAQ. This is the daily chart. We've got a bearish divergence here on the CCI versus the price chart showing more upward movement, hitting this key resistance there. Now that resistance level is at 15,930. Now we've drawn a target area there on the Fibonacci's between the 23 and the 38% on the daily. So it's teasing us. It's been sort of bouncing up along that resistance for some time, but CCI is showing some weakness. The stochastic is still overbought. No real big sign of a downturn. So really relying on the CCI to this divergence to play out and see a collapse, not a full collapse, but at least a retracement to the downside at the very least, hitting this target. Of course, these divergences can sometimes play out and collapse a lot more. As I said in the previous couple of videos, they can collapse a lot more, but we're going to be looking at an initial target of that earliest Fibonacci range. On the hourly, there's not real much movement here. You can see there it's sort of hitting and bouncing off this minor support at 15,407, but there's no real, there's probably a minor divergence playing out there. So that's also a weakening sign. I'll mark it. You can see there the CCI is falling off versus a very minor decline, and I prefer to see a more strong advancement on the price with a strong decline on the CCI to be more positive about the divergence. But at the moment, I'm not going to put too much weighting on that one. I'm relying more on the daily to play out. To get more insight into some trading strategies and ideas, subscribe to my Patreon page and support me more there. Otherwise, give me a subscribe, like and share this channel, and we'll see you in a future video.